Okay. So I think the step one for me is always self-analysis. I won't be spending much time here. I've already talked about the importance of self-analysis, knowing what your exact skill sets are, what drives you. Understand your working style. Understand whether you're ready for the corporate world or you still want to pursue your passions, you want to be an entrepreneur, etc. Because it doesn't matter, where the funds flow in from. What matters is that every day you should get up in the morning, feel the need to contribute positively to your work environment. It could come from home, it could come from you visiting your offices, etc. So if at this moment while I talk, if you feel that I'm not in the right place or I'm not in the right space of mind, I feel very confused, I don't feel like getting up in the morning and going to work, you should try reconsidering your decision. Do not just be in a job just because it's a job. So a job is not a part of, it's just a part of your life, it's not your life, right? So you cannot hamper your mental health for something. Definitely it gives you your bread and butter, but if you're really passionate about doing something else as well, that'll give you the same amount of satisfaction. So the first step is to identify how willing are you to bring a change. If I am a finance professional, how willing am I to help people manage their wealth? How good am I in understanding the various financial assets? So let's just quickly, since I talked about financial assets, can any one of you let me know the risky less asset? Anyone tell me that which asset has the least amount of risk according to you?
Bonds.
Index funds,
Okay, bonds,
fixed
fine.
deposits,
Fixed deposits,
index
bank instruments,
funds.
right?
Or
Okay, bonds, fixed income securities. Okay, fine. So we already named a few financial assets. Can you name other categories or classification of assets according to you? Just quickly name whatever comes to your mind. I'll give you a hint. Let me start with the
Equity,
equity.
golds.
Gold.
gold,
Okay, fine. Commodities. Let's categorize them as
real
commodities.
estate,
Real estate, right? What else? Think. There are 8 to 9 categories. So equity, we are done. Fixed income securities, bank deposits.
treasury bills.
So treasury bills comes under what? Government securities, right? So think of the broad
Yeah,
category. कैटेगरी सोचो, आपने रियल एस्टेट बोला, ठीक है?
We have
इंश्योरेंस,
alternative investments like private equity and else.
absolutely, alternative investments. What else? Can you think of something which has more risk, something that is traded on the stock market apart from equity?
Derivatives.
mutual
Absolutely.
funds.
Mutual funds, derivatives. Okay, so we are on the right path. So we know a bit of what the financial assets are, and we are ready and prepare, and we are ready to kind of kickstart a journey where we'll be a part of either one asset, or we can work with any financial services company such as Motilal, IIFL, Sher Khan, where we can be a financial analyst dealing with a lot of other kind of equities. So for example, if I come from an experience of valuation, I do a lot of equity valuation. You can also be a part of debt valuation. You could be a part of debt syndication. But assuming that all of your freshers, I will not bring in a lot of alternative investments, put call options, derivative, risk management into the perspective at this moment. I will not do that. So I am considering that at this stage, we all are ready. We got our answers on what exact skills we want to acquire, what we have done in the past, where we are headed, where we want to go, and we are ready to kickstart on the corporate experience, right? Now that we are ready, do a lot of research. Why do I say research is important? Because you need to know what your core subjects are. So initially, I was asked what my favorite subjects have been. So I have had a keen interest in mathematics. I have loved doing economics. I'm sure at least one or two of you have a good interest in economics, right? So economics as a subject used to feel very practical to me. I used to relate it to what is happening in the stock market, the demand and supply factors, the aggregate demand, how the demand or the prices impact the demand, how the prices impact the supply, how the interest rates moving up and down will impact the monetary policy, how will it impact the banking system. So generally India is a bank led economy, right? We say that India is led by its bank. So we should be in a good position to understand what the union budget is, what the monetary fiscal policies are. What is the taxation system in India? Somebody asked about the jobs in taxation. So taxation, that you could either work for a taxation system in India or you could be a part of USI taxation. But primarily talking about India, let me ask, Are you well enough? Are you well equipped with the taxation system of India at the moment? Are you aware of what the direct taxes are, indirect taxes are? Do you know the in and out of GST? Do you know what is US GAAP, IFRS? Do you know the Indian accounting standards? Do you know what IAS 36 stands for, etc.? So the research is all about understanding, what the subjects that I am aligned with are, what those topics are, what problem do I wish to solve. Is the problem that I'm willing to solve related to the books that a person or a company will maintain, or is related to the fact that once the books of accounts are prepared, I want to be an analyst, who wants to analyze those books of accounts, who wants to analyze the financial statements. So this kind of a question cannot be ready made put into your mind. This is something that comes from within you. You are someone who has to figure out that, do I like doing a lot of Excel? Do I like to do a lot of PowerPoint presentation where, I am putting across the company profiling, I am putting a lot of industry analysis information, pestle analysis, SWOT analysis? So what is SWOT, guys? Anyone? What is SWOT? Any idea? SWOT. Can,
Strengths,
Strengths,
weakness,
weakness,
opportunities,
opportunities, and
threats.
threats.
great. So two of these are internal to a business. What are these two that are internal to any business?
Its strengths and
Strengths
weaknesses.
and weaknesses.
So strengths and weaknesses are internal, opportunities and threats are external, right? One talks of a positive connotation, one talks of a negative connotation. And hence, the starting point is always to understand the wider industry that you want to be a part of, right? So I hope you guys are well ready to, start on your research. You're ready to read about the existing jobs, the websites that intrigue you. I talked about JP Morgan, the investment banks. Personal suggestion is, do not try to just hop onto the websites of the investment banks directly. Try and understand what the boutique firms are doing, what the tier 2 companies are doing, what the big fours have to offer. Probably the big tens and not big fours. I will never restrict you to big four experiences, right? Now that you've done your research, right, the next step, one second, yeah, so the next step is to understand what all career options or what all career choices do I have. As a graduate, as a postgraduate, depending on the situation, you could always get a start under research. So you could be a equity research analyst, you could be a fundamental research analyst, you could be a credit analyst. So when I say equity research, fundamental analysis, credit analyst, what I mean to say is you could be catering to different aspects of the financial assets. So when I say equity research, I am saying equity, which means I'm trying to estimate the common stock. I'm trying to estimate the intrinsic value of a stock. Anyone in the audience, can you tell me or have heard of the word intrinsic value? In one line, can you tell me what is intrinsic value?
The
ये
real or
अनूठी
fair
बात
value.
है.
Okay. More answers. Try to refine it more. What is intrinsic value, or what is, let's say, what is the true value of the business? So intrinsic value is nothing but the true and the fair view from an investor's point of view of how much value do they associate with that one share price, one stock that they would buy in the market. So let's say the market price of Reliance is close to 2300 and the intrinsic value is 2500. Tell me from your logic, don't think of finance, just think of something is trading at 2300 in the market while the intrinsic value or the fair value is 2500. Will you buy that stock, hold that stock, or sell that stock? Tell me
Buy that stock
why.
because the intrinsic value is more. So I expect the price of the stock to go up in the near future or in the coming future.
Right, and what factors do you think will estimate that 2500? Any idea?
Some valuation, obviously you would have prepared some models, or you would have done some analysis of opportunities as Reliance is tapping into. And there are a lot of things when you think of a stock. You just don't think about the company, you think about around the company, around the business, around the economy, around the global opportunities. It's a big picture to be seen, but step by step, GEIC, what we call, we do it. And
Great, good
that's where
answer.
we get the
Even
Yeah, go on.
even con calls and management discussion, annual reports, all this stuff on the financial statements to help.
Absolutely. So I just list down what two of you very correctly mentioned. So let me rather ask you that, will you categorize whatever you both said under an income approach or a market approach? What kind of an approach is this? Is it based on your income or is it based on the market?
Market approach.
Are you sure?
Both,
Because you're looking at the
like
internal working of the business. You're
financial
looking
statements are income approach, and the other external factors are market approach.
right. So I just want to, create a mind map in your mind that the two of you answered more from a perspective assuming that the company is a public company and it has the annual reports available, right? Can I get a heads up from both of you? Is that what you were thinking, that it's a public company जिसके financials available हैं, जिसके annual reports available हैं, it's a listed company? Can I say you were assuming that? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. But what if it's a private company? Have you ever thought about it? Let me just give you a case study. Okay. You have a private, so there's a public peer. Let's say in an entertainment and media industry. Can you name any player in the media industry? Anyone you've heard of from the media and entertainment industry, or rather any industry? Take
Zee
an
TV,
automobile.
Saregama,
T Series, Viacom, Network 18.
Yeah, Network
Sony
18.
TV.
Right. ठीक है, let's take anyone, let's take network 18, ठीक है, or let's take red fm. Now tell me, if they want to acquire a private player, what all in your opinion should they take consider to value a private company, and what is the limitation? So tell me, what is the limitation of a private company? Anyone?
It does not
That their
publicly.
financials are not disclosed.
Okay, first point. Anything else?